Hey, what's up guys? Mincity here back in with another video, and today we are taking a look at Creatures of Aether. Now, what is Creatures of Aether? This is a card game available on the App Store. Now, first and foremost, I know there's a ton of card games releasing and they're not very exciting. Very few card games actually iterate on the genre. The best card game that I've played recently is Legends of Runeterra, but I literally can't remember the last time I played a card game that really interested me and felt different. Well, this is one of them. The link to the game is in the description down below for iOS as well as Android. Now, the developer actually created Rivals of Aether, which is basically a really well done 1v1 Smash Bros type game on the PC. And I'm really impressed by that, by its pixel art and its music and sound design, and it was just a really high quality game. Definitely gained a lot of praise. Now, what the developer wanted to do with this is use those creatures and that world that he created for Rivals of Aether and turn it into a card game, and he's done it incredibly well. Now, first off, the art style, the pixel art is like literally some of the best pixel art I've ever seen. And this game is just wow. I'm literally speechless. I can't even describe it to you. It's that good. The music is so good as well. I cannot describe it to you. You just need to listen to it in the background of this video and download the game for yourself if you end up liking what you see and what you hear. This game's sounds and visuals, it's right up my alley. Like I'm very biased towards great pixel art and great sound design like this in this vein. So flying colors, passes with flying colors. Now, as far as the card game goes, it's actually pretty unique. Now, there is a board, and this board can vary in how many spaces it is, but the PvP default mode has a 4x4 grid. Now, your deck of creatures, all of the cards will be available to you right off the bat. It's almost like a card game, but it feels more like a board game. Now, creatures, your cards are a square. Now, each side of the square is allocated to a number, and this number can range from 0 to whatever. And that is the power the creature has on that side. Now, when you place it on the grid, your opponent can place another creature with a side that has a higher number than the side your creature has, and it'll take over that card and turn it to his color or his side. What you want to do by the end, when all the cards are placed by you and your opponent, you want to own more cards than your opponent. That's literally it. It's super simple, but it's way more strategic and way harder than you would think to make choices in this game. So you're seeing it in the gameplay before you. Now, also on top of that, these creatures can have abilities. Now, these abilities can alternate things on the board or change things up on the board. They can take over multiple creatures in a row, stuff like that. So the board also has a variable where there are spots allocated to each element, and if you put a creature of that element on that spot, it'll give it a bonus attack to all of its sides depending on what it says labeled on the board. So certain creatures will alternate those as well, like completely wipe all of those element spots off the board and just make it plain. Other creatures will swap those spots out for another element, stuff like that. So there is a lot of depth despite it being such a simple concept to understand. Now, if you don't like PvP, because this is primarily PvP, there is a PVE mode which is available through currency that you can earn very slowly, or you can buy it, and it is basically a roguelike dungeon where you enter a dungeon that you can choose which squares to search first and which battles to take in whatever order you want. And there's awards that you can win, and if you defeat the boss, you get major rewards in the normal game. So there is that PvP portion that you can try out. There is more modes coming that the developer has made aware in the game, so keep a lookout for that. Now, the monetization, it does have a battle pass system. It's $4.99. And then the rest of the monetization is literally tit for tat Clash Royale monetization, where you gain copies of cards, you spend gold to level up those cards. You can buy packs of cards, you can buy chests of cards. So yes, it is pay to win, but now let me explain why it's less pay to win than Clash Royale. Well, Clash Royale has the same monetization, Mint. What are you talking about? Well, depending on your player level, you have to play the game to increase your player level. Depending on your player level, you have a deck power limit. So right now, mine is 20. Now, each creature card, depending on how powerful they are, they're allocated a power number in the top left of the card. Now, say I have a creature power of 4, that would add 4 to that deck power with a limit of 20. So even though this can be pretty pay to win, you still aren't allowed to put huge powerful cards that you get and pay for in your deck without having to sacrifice and maybe put some lower power creatures in there. So it kind of provides like a ceiling for how powerful your deck can get until you play the game longer. I do like that. I think it really helps add the balance because I've been playing for a while now and I feel like no one has blown me out of the water. I feel like I've had a chance every single time to win. So obviously it pits you against people who have the same amount of trophies, and that deck power, I'm sure it pits you against people with a similar deck power limit as well. So just keep that in mind. I highly suggest if you just want to try a unique new card game that just looks and sounds fantastic and is super simple to understand but super deep in utilization of its concepts, check this game out. The link to the game is in the description down below. Please leave a like and pop a sub if you guys are new or you enjoy mobile gaming content, because that's all I make on this YouTube channel, and take it easy.